Hello, Joanne.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
Good. I like your glasses.
Oh, thank you. They help me see, and I got them in a whole bunch of different colors.
Yeah, I love that. It
Thanks.
brightens you up too.
Oh, thank you. I have a pair that I just recently lost that was actually glow in the dark.
Oh, yeah, really cool.
Yeah. So it's
I
tough with
like your
them.
background.
Oh, yeah, it's animated.
Oh, is that your animations or from
No,
Zoom or
neither
from?
actually. So, are you familiar with the website called Giphy?
Yes, I think
So
I have it, but I didn't know they could do all that.
yeah, so Giphy, if you search, they have their own like Zoom backgrounds.
Uh-huh.
And I just downloaded the ones that I thought would be good and exciting for my kiddos because I
Oh,
teach
they're
school.
great.
So yeah.
Oh, good. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I teach multimedia and graphic design at Pacific High School here in Ventura.
Wow, I'm impressed. That's good.
Yeah.
I
So
used to
that's
be, I was a teacher, but I taught just basic adult ed English, get to your GD and
yeah.
high school.
I'm a continuation school, so I actually send some kids over to adult ed if they're not having success at our school. So we
Yeah.
get them when they're credit deficient, like
Well, that's what
30.
I did too for all the they'd be going to day school, but they were missing like a few credits, so they could make it up in
Yeah.
adult school.
Hey, Jody. Hey, Marilyn. Welcome.
So what are they? Are they on you? They're not on your wall, are they? Your Giphies?
Oh no. So the whole thing is a
Oh, good.
background.
I'll
Yeah.
remember that. I might look it up. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Marilyn, you're muted. You gotta hit your unmute there. I saw your lips moving.
Your glasses are very artsy.
Aren't
Oh,
they
thank
great?
you. Thank you.
was
I just got
saying the
them.
same thing.
I was sharing that I had a pair of that were the same style that were glow in the dark, and you'd think you'd never lose those, but I put them down somewhere because I've been wearing my mask all the time, so I fog them up. So to see, I take them off, and I must have set them down somewhere, and I couldn't find them. So luckily, when I got my last prescription, I bought like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different pairs because this particular frame is very affordable. It was like $13. So I got.
Excellent.
It looks very artsy.
It
I'm like that
does.
with my cell phone. I kept my landline because I'm always losing my cell phone, so I call it on my landline to find it.
Yeah,
I
there's
just turned
nothing.
42 yesterday. So
You're a baby.
as I'm
Birthday.
entering, thank you. As I'm entering my fourth decade here, I'm finding that I'm wearing my glasses and losing my glasses more often than ever.
Well, that's very common.
There's probably such a thing as an app to find glasses, right?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
sure.
it must be.
I'm sure. Hey, Jody.
Hi, I'm here
Welcome.
with
Hi.
John Duran.
Hi, nice to see you.
Turn it up again here.
So we're just admitting some more folks here, and then we'll get started. Probably around maybe 5:37 or something like that, just in case there's a couple of stragglers coming in.
Nice
So
to have a little fellowship in the meantime.
truly. So I was just sharing that I'm getting to be a bit of a Zoom expert. This is month 12 now that I've been teaching my students this way, and I've been trying to keep them excited with different backgrounds and all sorts of stuff to work with in engagement.
I need to get more creative about that too, with some kind of virtual background.
Yeah,
I want to find something with bears maybe, because I'm crazy about bears.
Oh yeah, I was just sharing with Joanne that there's a website called Giphy, I think it's PHY.
Yeah.
And you can get an account there, and they have all sorts of cool backgrounds and stuff that you can download. So now in addition to still backgrounds, you can do like little looping animations.
Oh, wow.
Welcome, Chrissy. Welcome, Susan. And I'm not, Cauldron. There we go. Nice to see you. So yeah, happy weekend.
Same to
Yeah.
you.
You.
Don't we get our days all mixed up on COVID?
Yes.
Yes,
Like, what day is
absolutely.
it today?
Yeah. It's interesting for us too, our school schedule. We have one of our goals was we're a pilot school for what's called social emotional learning. And so Wednesday, it's just getting in touch with your feelings and sharing things in a Zoom context, actually like this. But we dedicated an entire Wednesday to it. So we teach 45 minutes periods, Monday, Tuesday. Then we have that sort of a break to like recalibrate our heads. And then Thursday and Friday, we have the 45-minute periods again. So I think the education's starting to finally put that stuff into mainstream, which is really great.
That Wednesday sounds like good therapy, middle of
Yeah.
the week.
Yep. And then so then you have the weekend. So you got 2 days off, 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 2 days off. So
Is that with Ventura Unified or a private one?
it's with Ventura Unified, but I don't teach at a comprehensive high school. So I teach at what's called a continuation school. So if kids are struggling and they get
Oh,
credit deficient, they come to alternative ed. And then once they're with me, they kind of work at their own pace, and we're trying to get them all set to go either back to their high school or get them graduated. So
how wonderful that they have you to come to. That's wonderful.
so yeah, I teach graphic production and multimedia. So
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure
thanks for
those are
coming,
very
Amanda.
Popular classes too.
Yeah, yeah. My colleague teaches aerial photography, which is both still and drone video photography. So that's the capstone. Hello, Carlos. Welcome.
I'd like to learn that myself.
Yeah. Nowadays you have to get a license for it, actually, as
Even
well.
a small one.
Not for like the toy ones, but the ones that carry the cameras and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They can go so far and so high that you have to have someone who's licensed operating it and teaching it. And then the kids will eventually get at the end of the course, they'll get their certificates.
Wow.
interesting.
So I just want to share with everybody what the plan is. I'm going to allow people to come in for about another 2 minutes, and then we'll get started with our award ceremony. And I'll give you a bit of an outline of how the night's going to go. So I don't want to keep you too long on here. So our goal is to get finished hopefully in an hour or less. So that's I won't keep you for too long. I know it's Friday night and everybody's got their shows to watch or whatever. So we still got folks coming in. This is
I
great.
could be Zooming on Friday night.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good camaraderie for sure.
Yes.
So this is actually the best reception so far that we've had. We've got a significant amount of folks. I also invited the board of the Ventura County Arts Council to come as well. So
Oh, good.
we've got some folks in. One of the reasons I've been so cautious about posting the Zoom invitations to our 5,000 person mailing list is that there is a real risk of being visited by folks that you might not want in the room. So what I do is I keep it small, and that way we ensure that we are serious and get to have some safe conversation without anybody coming in, and they call it Zoom bombing, where they fish for links and then hop on in. Now, we won't have that happen tonight because I've got a waiting room here, so I'm checking everybody as they come in.
Correct.
But I just wanted to give you a heads up. That's why we kind of keep the number of folks that are invited to a little bit of a smaller amount. So if you want more people in the reception, you guys are more than welcome to invite your friends and everything. That's totally fine. But that's why the link isn't publicized to the broader World Wide Web for that.
Thanks for being protective.
Yes, of course. So I want to thank everyone for first of all for being here and for bearing with us as we go through this wacky world that we're living in at the present. I wanted to share with the folks that are coming in. I'm very used to this now as I'm a school teacher. I work here in addition to the curation work I do with the County Arts Council. I teach graphic production and multimedia design to kids at Pacific High School here in Ventura. So this is my second home in the Zoomiverse, if you want to call it. So the outline for tonight is pretty simple. What we're going to do is talk a little bit about the theme of the show. We are going to go from the honorable mentions, then to third, to second, to first place. And each person is going to have, if they choose, if they want to, if you don't, you're not forced to talk if you don't want to, but say a little bit about the artwork and your motivation and what you're thinking about. And then we're gonna wrap up with some news. So there's a couple of opportunities I think you would be interested in applying for, which include some window displays that are COVID approved, so no one's gonna be in the gallery. And then the second one is what the theme for our next show is. So I have not sent out the call. I wanted to share it with you guys, and then we'll send it out probably over the weekend. So we've got a great number of folks tonight. Oh, last thing I wanted to let you know is that I am recording this video, and it will be shared with a greater audience through our YouTube channel at a later date. So I just wanted to let you know that that's happening as well. So if any of you guys are uncomfortable, feel free to turn off your video and you can just kind of spectate if you want. It's up to you, but I love seeing your faces, and I just want to give you a heads up that that's happening. So first thing that we're going to do is, for those of you that maybe are visiting us from the board, I want to share how to get to our site. Okay, so it is vcartscouncil.org. We have all of the new, the website is up now, and we've got, oops, there we go. We've got the menus here across the top. And then of course, if you go to the Atrium Gallery and you go down to shows and exhibits and over to current show, it will take you to the message and communication show. Okay, so this show is unique in that it is our first time that we've ever been able to have video and multimedia. Typically, we've only been able to show still works in our actual physical gallery in the atrium. We've done some sculpture, some installation, but we've never been able to do video, animation, or multimedia. So I wanted to give a big thank you to the folks who took a bit of a risk and tried some new stuff. So shout out to David Isaacson for making 3 stop motion videos. So those are here, they're viewable. You can watch those on your own time. And then of course, Marilyn Keller has created this little, I'm just going to call it a presentation that's sort of a narrative and a photo essay, and also about a specific piece of work that's really inspiring. So in order to view these pieces, you can just simply click on the little YouTube links, or in the case of Marilyn, we chose a single page to sort of represent that narrative, and you can download the whole narrative as it's a PowerPoint presentation, and you can just click on the view full version here. And then the way that our gallery is set up is we have sort of an unencumbered view, very similar to something like Instagram would be, where you just have a variety of images. And then when you click on any given image, you are able to see a bit of a closer view. And then when you click on the left and right, you can scroll through the gallery that way. And should you choose that you want to get more information, when it was provided, we added in the title and the artist and the dimensions. So as you're scrolling along, you can see that it looks like there's not anything there, but if you just scroll down, all of that information is just at the bottom. So I wanted to make sure that you weren't thinking that we had forgotten it. It's there. It's just that you need to scroll down to the bottom to see it. So that's the layout of the web page. Okay. So when I sort of go through the awards, the way that's going to work is I have prepared some remarks for myself. And then I also, whenever we have a judge, we always have a professional artist. And I've been doing this since 2017, and I've never used the same judge twice. So I have a network of peers that I reach out to, and this show is, and all the shows are judged anonymously. So unfortunately, you don't have the name, but that's also fortunate because it might be someone that you know, and because I don't want to have any weird things going on with the judging, we just keep it anonymous. And but one thing, excuse me, that I have changed is that since 2017, we now have judges' comments for first, second, and third place. So you'll get not just your cash prize, or your, for an honorable mention, you would get a free entry to a forthcoming show. But you will also have the comments from the judge, and those are really useful for you. So if you have like a website or social media, you can post your work and then say, you know, first place winner, judge's comment, quote, blah, blah, blah. And it can help you, you know, establish a little bit of more credibility with it, or it's like a testimonial, I guess, more than anything about your career. So just a cool thing that's added value for participating in the shows. So without any further ado, what we're going to do is I'm going to share the image, and then I'm going to read the judge's comment. Okay, so let me get set up here. So I'm going to go share screen, and let's see, we're going to go to, let's see, thank you for bearing with me. Let's see. Can you see that all right?
Yeah, so far.
Okay, so this is the first image.
Uh-oh.
And no, that's my mistake. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and do this in a little bit more of an elegant way. Let's see. I'm going to stop the share just for a second. And let's see. For some reason, we are not able to. Thank you for your patience. I'm going to do this. I think I had two things shared at the same time. That was the issue. Let me try that again. All right. Well, I'll read the comments first, because that will prep you for the image, and then I can share the screen. Okay, we'll just do it that way. Because what I don't want to do is reveal to you who it is until the last moment. That's what we're trying. We're trying to keep the suspense here. Okay, so that's the real goal. So here it is. The first comment is coming out of the November election of 2020, I started to regain my optimism and hope that we as a country really might be able to turn things around. Some of this optimism was diminished by events leading up to January 20th, 2021, but I held on to my hope, and I think that is reflected in some of my late 2020 and early 2021 work, which is submitted here for the consideration. A greater use of color, some new techniques, and different shapes symbolize perhaps a new direction for our country, a new transparency in our government, and hopeful change in how we view and treat one another. So the piece is called Reaching Out. It's by Richard Mortensen, fused glass, 8 by 2 by 7 inches. And if you want it, it will be yours for $125. Now, here is the beautiful work coming your way. let's see, and sharing and desktop, share, pictures. There we go. It says, please move. There we go. Can you see?
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
Not yet. Please move this
Right
window
screen.
away from the shared application. I don't understand.
We see it there in the small version, but
All right, hold on. Can,
listen, we wouldn't want to do this. I wouldn't, I'm not that good at
No,
Zoom.
it's-
So whatever you do, you're ahead of the game.
it's funny because I was just telling you how it works out fine.
We have lots of patience. It's just nice to be together.
Yeah.
All right, let me just do this one more time. We're going share screen. I'm gonna do it actually in our website because
It's probably easier.
might be easier. I had them all set up in the on my desktop here, and for some reason, it's just not it's not letting me do it. So we're gonna go to here we go. It's this one. It's lovely. Oops.
The
Hold
images
on.
doesn't.
I just said it. There. There. Can you see
All
it?
right.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
reaching out. Richard Mortensen. We're doing it from the web. I downloaded
Beautiful.
these and it just
Very
worked
nice.
from the web. So this is the honorable mention. Richard is the proud owner of a of a free entry to the next show. So we can give him, if you look on your little Zoom bar, there should be a thing that says reactions,
Mhm.
and you can give like little thumbs up in your window, or you can give applause, or we can type in chat. And Nishan says beautiful work in the chat. So that's another thing you can do is throw it into the chat there. So congratulations to Richard for his piece reaching out. It is very colorful. And so Richard, while this is up here, if you are in the building, will you please give us a little bit about your work? I'm not sure if he's here. I don't see him on the Zoom. So he gave us a little bit of a bio on the bottom there. So again, this is new work for 2021. So fresh out of the oven, as they say. So moving forward, I am going to just do this for the rest of the time. We'll read and then we'll show on the webpage. So we are now transitioning to third place. Okay. So the piece for third place is I could not read this texted conversation, no matter. This wall of conversation brings me subtle anguish, a visual reminder of the physical isolation of the oh so recent past. The piece is called Texting by Chrissy Martin. It's a photograph, 8.5 by 11 inches. It's not for sale. And Chrissy says in her biography, I am an artist for my own survival and being. Sometimes I share what I do if it has some significance. I enjoy creating mindless stuff too. So I'm going to go ahead and share her work, and then I'm going to invite her to go ahead and say a few words about that piece. So here we go, and let me make that happen. There we go. So Chris, would you like to speak about your work? You can go ahead and unmute if you'd like. I saw you were in the participants window here.
Okay, so I always take everything really literally. So I figured this was definitely a communication here. And I intentionally made it a little bit blurry because I didn't really want people to read. It was really personal stuff shortly after my husband passed away, but it was definitely a bunch of love letters that I put all together. And I was glad that I had friends to text me tons and tons of stuff. And yeah, it's just a bunch of texts all combined together.
Well, it was very
It
effective
was my
for
most
our
serious
judge.
piece.
And
Thank
he was actually, I just gave it away. The person was actually really excited about kind of trying to figure out if they were actually readable or not. And I was like, this is the absolute highest resolution I have. And it's interesting. I didn't know that you had blurred them. I was
Yeah.
just really, he was, the judge, sorry, was profoundly impacted by this as a just a great example of message and how we can just be like hit with them. And it can be either a negative or a positive thing. So
Yeah, this was my literal piece for sure. I just kind of like the viewing of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Visualness.
one thing I observed too is when you squint, it very much becomes it's almost like an abstract painting, right? Where you have this sort of rhythm and break and rhythm and break and rhythm and break.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got some stuff coming in through the chat.
Thank you.
And this is from Sandy. And she's saying it's from the heart, smiley face, congratulations.
Thank
Carlos
you.
says it's beautiful. Izzy says congratulations. Patty says love the colors, beautiful. So
Thank you. I don't know how to chat, otherwise I would also applaud everyone else.
So thank you for submitting your work. And yeah, well, Chrissy is a constant helper when she comes in, and when we used to be hanging shows. She's been very, very helpful in that regard as well. And same with Nishan, who's on our board.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So next, we will shift over to second place. And so I'm going to read the judge's comment for second place, which is, all right. So the second place is this is the judge's comment speaking. How many of us got dressed up with nowhere to go, alone in our bubbles, like this doll? Face mask blue, accented with matching blue dress and handbag, a fashionable choice. Who are we trying to impress when there's nobody around? Creative work. I wonder what exactly the artist was working on. Oh gosh, I'm butchering this. I wonder exactly what the artist was working through here. So working through here, like working through. Here we go. That makes more sense. The piece is called Alone in My Bubble. It's by Patty Kunstedt, and it's mixed media, not for sale, 16 by 4.5 by 4.5 inches. And I will now show you that work. Give me just a moment here. Okay. And we're going to share. And there we go. Okay. So Patty,
Yes.
would you like to share what you were going through?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
I hear
Yes.
you loud and clear.
Oh,
You sound
okay.
great.
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory, but we were just constantly hearing words like isolate and distance yourself and quarantine and alone. And I was just feeling just very, secluded. So I thought I'd wrap myself up in a spool of bubble wrap. And at first I had clear wrap, but it didn't really, I needed some contrast. So I had some blue, and then I thought, well, blue was perfect because I'm feeling so blue. So the blue made the bubble pop a little bit more. And the mask was I felt like we just had to cover ourselves. And the little purse, I just felt like I was dressed up, ready to go nowhere inside my bubble. So that was really the whole intent behind that piece. Just feeling
Yeah.
kind of blue and lonely.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Thank you. I had
And-
fun creating it.
It looks, it's a really interesting piece because, you know, one of the parts of the call was like, what's your message and what's your worldview? Or, you know, I forget the exact text, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read that. But I feel like you really nailed that with, you
Thank
know,
you.
you showed your world. Let me just go
Yep.
up to the top here because I have it written down. How will you send this message? How will you communicate your concept? What is your truth and your reality? And I think that last little part was really captured in that
Thank
piece.
you. Yeah.
And
thanks.
the parts from the chat here, let me go ahead and I'm going to just stop the share for 1 second so I can share the chat with you. You got a whole bunch of beautiful hearts in a row from
Thank you.
Amanda. It says, interesting, fantastic concept and execution, very fun, fantastic and unique. It caught my attention when I first explored the pieces. So you're
Oh,
getting a lot of love in the chat there.
thank you. That makes me feel makes me
Yeah.
feel a lot better
We're-
than when I created it.
Yeah, we are an empathetic and sympathetic group of artists. I assure you.
Thank you.
That's one
Thank
thing
you
I've
all.
observed is that as difficult as these times are, there is a lot of room for grace and empathy. And as many of those YouTube videos that you see of people just going absolutely bananas, there's also a lot of them where you're just seeing incredible, like I said, grace and empathy, where people are just giving of themselves to the nth degree. So we are, yeah, it's a special time in that regard too. So
Thank you.
it's great. So moving forward, we are going to go ahead and read the first place winner. Thank you also, Patty, for sharing. That was really heartfelt. So I'm going to read the judge's comment here first. This one's a little bit longer, so please be patient. It says, maintaining a daily creative ritual for a full orbit around the sun is in itself incredibly interesting. Even more so is getting to peek into the moods that traveled through this year as well. This piece makes me wonder what each color connects to. Are the sprinkled lines of yellow representing moments of joy? What was happening during the stretch devoid of yellow, instead streaked with purples, reds, and blues? Can the artist feel the weight of the year on themselves when they wrap themselves up in this blanket? What does it feel like? Incredibly interesting piece. And I'm going to read you a little bit about the artist. Amanda works in IT for the Ventura County Library. Her grandma taught her how to crochet when she was little. She doesn't use patterns or really know how to read them. The artist decided to start 2020 by crocheting 1 row a day for the entire year, each color reflecting the mood she was in for that day. What a colorful year. She started with white for hope and ended it surrounding the entire blanket with the same white for hope. The artist is Amanda Armitage. The piece is entitled 2020 Moods. It's crocheted yarn, 114 by 81 inches, and this piece is not for sale. And it is, let me just scroll down to it before I share my screen here.
I could go get it.
Yes, please go get it. And while you're getting it, I'll post. I'll post this on our Zoom. So here we go. Share screen, and here it comes. There's your preview.
Oh, wow.
So keep in mind the scale, pretty big, 114 by 81 inches. That's almost 10 feet, I think. 120
wow.
inches, 10 feet.
Is that photo just a close-up?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
it's a close up.
It was
I-
quite hard to get it all in.
Yeah, and I don't think crumpling it up would do it justice. So I kind of tried to choose the photo that I thought out of the ones that I got was the most indicative, and clearly it worked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen because we can actually see the person who made it and the blanket. So let me stop that and then pass it on over to Amanda.
Thank you, Pete. Wow, I'm shocked. This idea came from like a week before last year started, and my friend said she was going to do one on based on the temperature that day. So the color would be on the temperature, whatever that is. And I thought, gosh, California, that's going to be one kind of boring thing. And I said, I think I want to do moods. And I looked up a mood chart, like with colors. And then I kind of sprung from there, starting with white for hope. And I did keep track of all of those moods and for myself. And, I sometimes it was funny. It's interesting that he said yellow, because sometimes yellow meant happy and sunshiny, and sometimes yellow like I was feeling sick or feeling blah that day. So it really, that's why I wanted to keep track of the colors, because, and Super Bowl, I know where the Super Bowl was, not that my team was in it, but I did blue and orange for that day. So I can see what I can kind of look through, and it's huge and heavy, and I picked a leap year, so it's an extra row. So, but anyway, and like there's the edge that I kind of wrapped in white, which you can't see in the picture. But and I think of my grandma, and I think of 2020 when I look at it, and my son has already called dibs on this blanket.
Yeah, Amanda, I was going to share that story, but you can share it too, because I think it's really cute.
Well, I had put that it was for sale initially, and my son said, I wanted that blanket. I have twin boys, and I had already crocheted one for my other son, and I was like frantically emailing Pete, like, please take it down. Please say it's not for sale. Nobody should buy it. They can't buy it. So, but anyway, it was funny. He helped me.
After that ping pong of emails, I was like, don't worry. Like, I'm the one who runs the sales. Like, everything's fine. We'll just take it down. And our web developer deserves a lot of kudos, because she's very good about, if we have an adjustment or a change or something, she'll make it happen. So yeah, thank you all also for the patience that you had. Is that we have, life is weird now, and even when we have our best goals to set specific dates and all that stuff, sometimes it doesn't work for us. So again, thank you for not being frustrated and just keeping patient through all of this. So if anything else, we can just look at the puppy. I don't know if you guys can all see that, but we're getting waved to by a little white dog, which is super cute. So, little things like that definitely make the day of wearing a mask so long that your face hurts a little bit better. So, yeah, we've got actually 2 pet visitors. I see Karen has a little fluff ball too. So nice. I have a 21-month-old who sometimes cameos in the background, either by screaming her head off, laughing, or actually opening the door and coming onto the video. So in the school setting, I know the kids are in the same way. We've got multiple students on the computer at the same time in the same room, and so just that grace that's afforded is really appreciated. So thank you for that. And so with that, if anyone would like to share anything else about any of their pieces, we can have a minute or two of that, and before we move into the calls for artists, or if you want to move directly to that, we can do so. So anybody else want to say anything about their experience so far?
Amanda, could you hold it up? The blanket?
No, you want to see all 10 feet?
Yeah, we don't need to see 10 feet. I just wanted to see it kind of held up a little bit. Oh, you might have to.
Can you turn off your background? Oh, there you go. The Zoom background is great for hiding your house, but it's not good for seeing a blanket.
Yeah.
And as my light is going away from my window, I can see I'm disappearing into the background.
I love that. So it's more into fun.
So if you click on your video, oh, you got it. Ooh, Amanda, that is
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Very nice.
Wait, I don't see it.
You might have to scroll over to the
to
right or
the
the left?
side, yeah, 'cause that happens sometimes, you don't.
I'm just on my phone.
Oh, yeah, on the phone, maybe scroll
Yeah.
down or to the left or right, or it's called gallery view.
Yeah.
Oh,
That looks
all right.
great, Amanda. Thank you for
Awesome.
sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
So Nishan, do you want to share a little bit about the opportunities for the windows?
Are you talking about the public showcase?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we are doing our second public showcase at the moment. We just installed yesterday on Victoria and Moon Drive in Ventura. And yeah, it's open right now, so everyone could go drive by and see it. It's in a big empty building that has big glass windows. So there's a lot of great art in there. And there's actually an artist here, Carlos, is one of the artists that got entered into the public showcase. And yeah, we're very excited about that. So if you have the time, please go drive by and check it out and get to know the artists.
What's the building near? What else is
Uh,
near?
it's right next to that kind of new Starbucks with the beautiful mosaic
Oh, okay.
in the drive-thru.
Victoria and Moon.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's another thing that Nishan and the board have been working on is getting more public eyeballs. Unfortunately, I don't have any information yet on when the government center is opening, but I anticipate like I just got an email. I'm on the email for Ventura County Recovers. And there's my understanding is that we're transitioning from the purple tier to the red tier, I think next week. So again, I don't have any predictions on whether or not the government center will open, but that is a trend in the correct direction. So as soon as I have information on that, I will share it with you. I doubt that they would allow us to gather there for receptions. However, there might be a benefit of hanging art on the walls and getting art off the walls that has been in there for a year. So again, we're in a holding pattern based on information that's beyond our control. So in the short term, I'm going to be planning on doing another one of these virtual exhibitions. And the theme for the virtual exhibition moving forward is going to be based off of a homonym. So for those of you that are grammar nerds like I am, a homonym is just something that has a different meaning but sounds the same. So for example, the theme that I want to use for this moving forward is the term value. And so when you're drawing or painting or making art, value often is what separates something from being two-dimensional or three-dimensional. So if you thought of, for example, like a red circle that's perfectly red, it's obviously very, very flat on the picture plane. Whereas if you transitioned that on one side from a very light color and transitioned it over to a tint or a tone on one side, so tint being adding white, a tone being adding gray, and then to a shade adding black, that variation in value will start to contour that flat space into a curved one. So that's the sort of artistic way of thinking of value. And then the other sort of artistic way of thinking of value is when you have, I don't know if you guys are familiar with non-fungible tokens, but the NFT essentially is a way of mapping the provenance of a digital artwork or a digital asset of any type, actually, and being able to make that provenance public, and then assessing a value at auction, and then being able to track it for infinity. So the idea of value of a digital asset has been changing very much in the last, I don't know, 6 months. So you have, for example, artists selling video clips that are on their website for free, but when they are auctioned off as an NFT, they're going for millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So value in terms of what is the value of art? Is it a monetary value, a cultural value, an auction value? So that's the idea of this coming exhibition, is kind of those those two meanings of value, both from a financial standpoint and from a purely like a hue and tone and depth sort of value. So it could be, for example, if you were doing an abstract painting and you wanted to do it sort of in the style of, like, if I'm thinking of Takashi Murakami, where everything's super flat, like that's the term that he uses, or someone like Ellsworth Kelly, where you have, you know, just these flat planes of color, that's about value, right? Or you would also be able to do something in trompe l'oeil style where you're fooling the eye. And because of the values of your paint, you're able to make it have incredible depth and look almost photoreal. Okay, or value in terms of questioning value, like if you're thinking of the 100-year-old Duchampian trick of assigning worth and cultural value to a toilet or a urinal, you can think about value in that way, like you're taking a quote unquote valueless art object of the everyday, the ready-made, and then all of a sudden you put it in the right context and now it's worth, you know, millions. And that's kind of what I think is the contemporary, like the Duchampian trick in 2021 is selling a tweet by Jack Dorsey for, I think it went for like 2.6 million. And that same exact thing is actually for free on your computer at all times. So where is the value there? And I love that about the art world, that it makes absolutely no sense. And that's my favorite part, is like, I'm a conceptual artist and the concept of what's going on right now is super appealing. And self-disclosure is I'm actually working with a company right now that's, you know, in that space. So it's wacky. It's super, super strange. It's gold rushy. So I encourage you guys to think about value. It's not a new idea. It's hundreds of years old. It's just that this is the newest iteration, is the NFT. So that's the theme for the next show, is value. And you can, hopefully I made that broad enough that you can understand kind of where it's coming from. So are there any questions that I could answer while we're here?
I have a question about the windows. You have
Yes.
to live in Ventura County, right?
That's a Nishan question. I don't know the answer to that one.
Oh, can Sean?
No, you don't have to live in Ventura County.
Okay. I thought I saw that.
It'll just be easier because you got to bring the artwork and everything to
Okay.
the area. So, but it's open to everyone. So.
Thank you.
So if you're doing a 16-ton marble sculpture, you better think twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Better be around the block.
Okay.
Have a semi truck.
It's BYOC, bring your own crane.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually had to do that with my kids. I ordered a custom table that was 12 feet long by 6 feet wide by 3 feet tall. And it was made out of steel. So it weighed about 1,400 pounds.
Mhm.
And I had measured it. My door to my classroom is 38 inches wide. So the only way you can get it into the door is sideways. So we actually, at the district, rented out a crane from Big Red Rentals, and they craned it into my classroom from the back of a flatbed truck. So think big and just be really, really, that old adage about measuring twice and cutting once is very much the case when your shipment comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if that's going to fit in the door. And then it does by 1 inch on either side. So they fabricated it perfectly, and thank goodness I measured a few times. So hopefully Nishan will be able to accommodate any size piece that you throw his way. So
Ready.
he's like, I'm ready. Very good. Anything else, folks, before we head out for the day? I have your addresses. It'll take us a while to get the checks written because we still use checks. Once the checks are written inside, we're putting them into an actual snail mail envelope with a stamp on it, and we'll send them to you. So typically that takes 3 to 4 weeks. But with the mail being the way it is and all that, who knows? But if you don't get your check, please just email me, and then I'll tell you whether or not it's been sent or not, and we'll make everything right. So with that, I'm going to open it up for any more questions. Anything? All right. Well, thank you to Michelle Marquis Dumas for doing our web development. Thank you for Nishan for doing our Instagram. Please check out our Facebook page and our Instagram. Do you want to talk about our Instagram handle real quick, Nishan? What it is?
Yeah, sure. I actually just typed it into the chat. So we just have a Instagram account for the Atrium Gallery. So just follow that, and you can see some more content on there, and we can all get connected.
Yep. So thank you all. Have an
Thank
awesome
you
day.
very much.
And
for doing
we'll
this.
see
Thank
you
you so
soon.
much.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank
Be
you.
safe out there.
Appreciate it.
Everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Bye.
weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Pete.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Good to see you,
Thank you.
Carlos.
Bye.